Talking about TV series that were inspired by James Bond, I would have to say that Chuck is that, but it's really doing its own thing and is definitely very funny. This was a show that debuted in 2007, and it stars Zachary Levi in what would be his breakout role. The premise is the title character works at a store called Buy More, which is kind of like Best Buy, and he's part of a special group called the Nerd Herd. It's obviously a play on for the Geek Squad that Best Buy is known for. Chuck lives in Burbank, California, trying to figure out his life, living with his sister and her boyfriend, who are pretty successful doctors. Apparently, Chuck was expelled from Stanford University due to fake charges that he was cheating, and he's having a hard time getting over that. Now, during his time at Stanford, Chuck had a roommate named Bryce Larkin, who eventually started working for the CIA. One day, Chuck gets an email from him, and when he opens it, he receives a computer and real virus right to the head. This would be the Intersect, which is a database of CIA and NSA files. And if Chuck sees something from these secret files, it will cause information to flood his brain, usually in the form of a montage of flashing imagery. Both the NSA and CIA send agents to investigate the recipient of the Intersect, with the NSA sending John Casey, played by Adam Baldwin, and the CIA sending Sarah Walker, played by Yvonne Strahovski. The show then becomes about how Casey and Walker are essentially Chuck's handlers, and they call him in anytime they need some information from the Intersect, or sometimes Chuck flashes on something and he calls them. You can see where the show might have one of those case of the week feels, and it does. And there are long-running plot lines as well. For example, Chuck and Sarah have one of those will they, won't they relationship that usually becomes a when will they. In addition to the spy elements, there are also side characters like Morgan, Chuck's best friend, as well as others that worked at the Buy More that often served as sort of the plot B of the show. I think that Chuck was able to juggle his double life at the Buy More and as a spy consultant, but I think his friends found out and they sort of help out Chuck in later seasons. Man, it's been a long time since I watched episodes of this show, but I remember I really liked watching episodes of it. This was back when networks were really getting into streaming, and I would usually just watch batches of episodes whenever I could. I think I stopped watching it in season 5, and I guess the network didn't think it would last. There was only like 13 episodes in that season. And by that time, Chuck and Sarah were together, and I remember that season 4 ended with Morgan getting the Intersect. Yeah, I think by season 5, I think they knew the show was dying, and I guess they knew it was going off the air in that last season. I kind of like it when that happens, rather than most shows which just don't get renewed for another season. Because in a last season like that, you can do a lot of closure, and hopefully Chuck did have that sense of closure. Anyway, do you remember Chuck? Did you watch it then? Do you think it's a classic? Leave a comment here.